Hi guys, Baker here. In today's video, I wanted to share with you my experiences and what I've learned from playing Lost Ark for the last month on the Russian realm. And I hope we can answer the question, is Lost Ark a game you should try on 11th February? Let's dive into it. Let me introduce myself fast. I come from a heavily ARPG focused background. I played the Diablo series from when I was little. I played Diablo 2 a lot. I played Diablo 3, Torchlight, Last Epoch, Grim Dawn, all the ARPGs that are out there basically. I mainly play Path of Exile nowadays, which by the way launches a new league on Friday, and you should definitely check it out if you've never played it. It's free to play. But let's focus on the MMO experiences I have, which are basically none. I still remember when WoW came out and all my friends tried to convince me to play it, but I knew if I started WoW after being heavily invested in Diablo 2 that I will not finish school. So I skipped on it. And I feel like that experience is still something I'm searching for, like that big MMO launch, playing with your friends, doing raids, all this stuff. And I gave a few MMOs a try, but I somewhat never found into it. And that changed with Lost Ark. Since the first time I heard about Lost Ark and saw some videos out of Korea, I was really interested in the game because it was advertised as an MMO ARPG. And what that meant is basically it's an MMO with all the typical MMO experiences, but with the ARPG, isometric, zoomed out camera, and typical gameplay and movement I'm used to and I love. So I was excited. The first thing you instantly will notice is you have a bunch of characters to choose, 21 classes counting all the subclasses, and the character customization is just beyond what I've seen so far, which will ultimately directly show you, okay, this is definitely not a typical ARPG and it's not a typical MMO either. Basically everything is customizable to the tiniest details, presets to your face, nose, eyes, eye colors, multiple hair colors, hairstyles. You can choose everything and you'll probably spend a decent amount of time in there customizing your character. Once you created your character, you will be found in Trixion, the training grounds basically, where you can try out skills that are locked behind level gaps and you can see how your character will feel in endgame. You can spawn scarecrows, bosses, monsters, whatever you like, see your DPS, and so on, play it without cooldowns. Just get a feel for the character itself, and maybe if you haven't chosen a class, you should spend some time there and try out different classes to see what your main should really be. Because Lost Ark has some really cool abilities, like you can just click once and it will do the ability or the skill or the spell or attack, just as you're used to it from an ARPG, but there's also skills that you can multiple times press, or you have a bar that charges up and you release the skill, and it gives a certain depth to your gameplay that really feel like you're in control and you're fighting there. From the first minute I started the main story quest, I was really excited. I wanted to see more and do dungeons and fight more monsters and like unlock more skills, and every continent you unlocked was a completely new scenery. All the cutscenes were beautifully designed. You really felt the love that the developers put into this game, and you also slowly learned how massive it is and how much there is to see and learn still. So I set the goal for myself to at least reach level 50 and do as many endgame raids, bosses, and so on as possible. As you make it through the game, you just unlock more and more content. Once you make it to 50, you have Chaos Dungeons, Guardian Raids, Void Dungeons, Abyss Trials, Legion Raids, and like all this endgame stuff, towers, cubes, sun paths. There's unlistable things of what you can do and what you can do weekly, daily. There's just so much to explore in this world. You have islands that every single island is unique. You have ghost ships. You have world bosses that spawn. You have guild versus guild and equalized fair PvP that you can rank in and like start from level 26 and just, you know, fight your friends or fight other people on the server with an equalized system where gear doesn't matter, and basically you can do it after 2 hours of story. I was impressed, really. With every single thing I learned about this game, I was impressed. Let's talk about another important topic for me. Gear and itemization. I wasn't expecting much from an MMO, to be honest. I thought gearing would be quite simple and, you know, you have your gear score that you can upgrade from what I've seen in the start, but oh, was I wrong. In endgame, you have so many systems like engravings, tripods, cards. You want to balance your combat stats to have the right amount of speciality and crit, and like find that right jewel that has the perfect engravings for you so you can finish as many engravings as possible. And it's a lot of min-maxing, and there's like this chase item or necklace that you can find that has the right stats just for your build, and it is way deeper than I expected. And that's something I really enjoy, and I'm looking forward to min-max my characters in EU, and I just think that's a really well-designed system for an MMO. Last but not least, let's talk about your daily routine, or what you would do on a daily basis in this game, which is an important topic to me. And what I usually do when I start the game, I go into a chaos dungeon, because you can do up to 2 a day with full drops and full materials that you can drop there, which are basically compared to maps from PoE or rifts from Diablo. And it's kind of content that's meant to be easy, where you can just destroy packs of monsters and some little bosses on the side and just get your rewards in. But even if you want to go beyond those 2 a day, you can earn splinters that you can trade at a vendor for certain upgrade materials or equipment for your character. After those chaos dungeons and kind of warm up, I would say, you do your guardian raids, where you can harvest the soul of a boss that you fight with up to 4 players. Like, you can solo it or go in with 4 players and find more materials and more jewelry and equipment for your character. And then you have all those other systems that I showed you earlier, like towers and cubes and so on. So the daily routine is really simple, and in the end, even if you miss a day or up to 5 days, the rewards will stack up and you get more the next time you do it. And you drop more loot in that one time when you finally have time on the weekend to play it. So as Stoop said, it's an MMO that respects your time. On top, you have Epona daily quests that you can do and weekly quests that you can do. And those usually are the things that I complete on my character every day. They take me about 1 to 2 hours in general, and then I'm done with my dailies. So usually then you have islands and other stuff to do, or if you really run out of content, you can just make an alt and do the same things there and funnel the mats and equipment into your main character just to boost him faster, or, you know, achieve the goals you wanted to do faster. So there's really a lot of options where you can spend time and earn your stuff completely free to play. And I never had any struggle or issue upgrading my character to the point where I wanted, even if RNG sometimes wasn't on my side. There's really many ways how to improve your character, and I think that's an important and healthy thing for a game. So, to conclude this video, if you like a game with deep character customization, a lot of skills, different classes, content for days, guild versus guild, PvP, raids, and so on, I think yes, Lost Ark is the game for you, and you should definitely give it a try on February 11th. It's completely free to play. There's no content gated behind any paywalls, and it's quite easy to get into. Just check it out on Steam. If you have any questions further, you can ask them in the comment section below, or come by my stream at twitch.tv/baker. I also wanted to make a video where I talk about mistakes I've made in Russia and that I would like to avoid at EU and NA. So hit that subscribe button if you're interested into that video. And meanwhile, happy looting.